Give me some Ingram. It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs as they get set to square off against the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be Case Keenum, the 6'1 QB out of the University of Houston.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Let's go, let's go.
Carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
Let's focus outside on Demaryius Thomas. His numbers were down slightly last year. First time in the last 5 years he didn't top 1,000 yards. But this guy's been to 5 Pro Bowls. And when I think about the evolution of his career, from his time at Georgia Tech where they were running an option offense and he didn't catch much more than bombs, to now being a complete receiver, no reason in my mind to think he won't be over 1,000 yards again in the future.
3rd and long. It's Keenum. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. This is taken at the 23. And now running right through it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former #1 overall pick, also the former Utah Ute. It's Alex Smith.
And when people believe in you, it is amazing what you can accomplish. Many thought Alex Smith's career was pretty much over in San Francisco, but a new regime came in, and he resurrected his career in a big way. Took San Francisco to the NFC Championship game before moving on to Kansas City and playing really well for the Chiefs, too.
4 down. Set. Line, 80.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
All day, baby, all
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. We were just talking about him pregame, 3 tackles for a loss. Last week he thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described, and I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball, and that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now it's Ingram. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. This is caught. Watkins. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Time for a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL. And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right.
On the 2nd down, Collins. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go, let's go. Check A2, check A2. Here goes the high.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Marquette King now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did something like that.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be effective.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Smith. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Denver. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we're going to keep an eye on, because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run, but how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. They toss to Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. He's definitely making his mark early in the year from the tight end position. 2 games played, 2 touchdowns.
And from what I've seen on tape so far this year, his ability to use the fakes well, his body in the red zone, they should continue to look his way through the entire season.
Butker on for the PAT. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Run! By 20!
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an All-Pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
And just think about all the pass rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
Here goes the hot! By 20!
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Hireman. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Keenum, he's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here goes the hot! By 20!
This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here goes hot! By 20! Hot!
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Got him in. He finds Sanders. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Four down. Alert. Here goes the high. Like 20.
On second down, here's Keenum. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First catch there for Thomas. It's a first down.
Here goes the high. Like 20.
First down run with Collins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. Plenty of scoring here already. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Tight end right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Like 20.
They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And now here comes Kansas City. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Smith and the Chiefs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, on.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Rip. Yellow.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's complete to Kelsey. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now Smith. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Smith now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Smith. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Butker now to add the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now on the return, Brendan Langley. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They'll begin the drive with Collins. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On! Go, doctor! Say hi!
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14.
Like 20!
Working from the gun, Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, and it's 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Let's go.
3rd and 2, Smith. And he's got Fitzgerald. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little
rush coming, and he's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
after the sack. It's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Keenum. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. 23 yards on the play.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. To throw, it's Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Let's go.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
All right, say it with me now. There's a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Now it's Keenum. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This is such a good read defensively. They know that this offense is going to try to get the ball to their playmaker in space. So what do? They crowd him and send bodies at him. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Harris. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Smith now 15 out of 17 through the air. Only 2 incompletions. It's first down. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. That is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Butker on for the PAT. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to the ground, this time to Freeman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out on the West Coast in Oakland. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. Jordy Nelson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, we head east to Detroit. Check on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Kenny Galladay, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Doug Baldwin, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, it's been the veteran Alex Smith with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. They're in the second quarter now in Oakland. The Raiders are out to an early lead. Derek Carr with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Here comes the Chiefs' offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
3 down.
On second down, here's Smith. Flush to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
The Chiefs on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Smith. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to go for it. It's Smith. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. So another snag for Fitzgerald, who in 2015 became the youngest player at age 32 to hit 1,000 receptions. He's piling up some more.
Well, the way he's playing today, it's almost like he's trying to get a second 1,000 just in one contest. And when they're operating this well and clicking like that, well, that's a big reason why they're winning the game.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Hey, we got 3 downs.
They'll try the air now with Smith. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go.
12.
I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
There it is, kid. There it is. Hey, baby.
Butker now to add the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Chris Jones on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Broncos on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here goes the hot. 20.
To throw is Keenum. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Hey, check 24.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double and triple and do what you have to do. Sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, It's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, but number wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done. And they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And that play's not going to get him in as he stops right at about the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll sneak it with Smith. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Alex Smith scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they had the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins in one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
Butker on for the PAT. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here goes the hot. Right 20.
They run with Collins, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And they'll bootleg it here with Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Off the play fake, Keenum. Thomas barreling ahead. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On play action. Now Keenum. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Keenum. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Alex Collins that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been excellent. 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in his drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Out of the gun, Keenum. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Sanders. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Keenum to Sanders for the Denver first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
He's going to look deep down the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. Keenum here again. That is incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Keenum. And he hits his man on the out route, Demaryius Thomas. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, making an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And going deep for Hill. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Smith. Able to find Harris, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Set, fire!
Here's Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now the pitch comes to Ingram. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
4 down.
This is Ingram, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
4 down. Set.
On third down, that's Ingram, and he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the sneak, kind of a wasted play there, and now it's third down.
Almost want to go Shakespeare here. My kingdom for a yard. Quarterback sneak, nothing doing.
Better be careful. Shakespeare might sue you.
Yeah, he might come get me, right? Good luck with that, Bard.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it third and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Smith keeps it on the sneak, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that's complete to Sanders. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Here goes the hot. Right 20. Hey. Get hot.
From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Here's Marquette King now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ingram again. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Set.
On 3rd down, that's Ingram. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Throwing now, Smith. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take